Organisation. Fucking hate it. The problem is, though, we don't live in a field running around. We live in a society that prioritises output and productivity. I have had to come up with some ways of approaching this so that I don't hate the world and myself. I have some tips that are focused on tech or tech tools. Some tips that are, that's fucking hard. Some tips that are focused on tools, and some tips that are focused on principles. So principles for organising yourself when you have ADHD. First thing is a principle for when you select what tools you use or what processes you use. The principle is, if it works, it works. If it works for you, it works. Fuck everyone else. You might find a tool or a process that works for you in terms of keeping you organised, and it might make you look like an absolute bellend. And you'll probably have a slight moment where you'll be like, I feel like I maybe shouldn't do this way because it doesn't seem like anyone else is doing it this way, even though I'm getting the results that I'm getting from it doing it this way. And my point to you is no. Well, yes. No, don't do it the way that you don't. No, yes, do it the way that you do it. Carry on doing the thing the way that you do it, or using the thing that you use that might seem weird to people that don't have the thing that we have. Fuck me, it got there eventually. The reason being that it's important to do things your way. I'm just quoting Frank Sinatra now. The reason it's important to do things the way that works for you is because if you try and do things the way that other people do them and they don't work, then you'll get pissed off and you won't do it, or whatever, and you end up getting in shit and you won't get the job done, or you won't get the products shipped, I guess. I don't know what I'm thinking, who specifically I'm talking about here, but yeah, maybe you won't get a product shipped if you try and do it in the way that other people do it. If you do it in the way that you do it, that works, then fucking do it and just stick with it. Principle of least resistance. I like this one because, well, I always thought I was lazy, right? And I think probably everyone with ADHD always thinks they're lazy before they get diagnosed with ADHD. I thought I was lazy as fuck. So, which meant that I always tried to find the path of least resistance with things. Like I'd try and do the shortcut, the simple way things. Because I knew that if it was hard or challenging or long or complicated, I wouldn't bother doing it. So I've set my life up to be easy in the sense that it's easy for me to do hard things, if that makes sense. I'm not avoiding doing the hard things. If you avoid doing hard things, you're never going to get anywhere in life. I avoid trying to do the hard things the hard way, because that's stupid. And certainly it's stupid if you've got ADHD or if you're lazy. So instead of trying to do things the hard way, do things the easy way. Do hard things the easy way. An example of that would be going to the gym is good for you. So you should go to the gym. And I'm not saying don't go to the gym. What I'm saying is make going to the gym easy to do. You keep your gym clothes out for yourself at night beforehand. You put your running shoes out beforehand. You fill your water bottle up or whatever, you know, whatever it is, your headphones, everything, all your gear is there ready to go. Basically, do things the easy way, but don't stop doing hard things, is the simple fact. I don't really mean like keeping it in the spreadsheets and shit like that. I just mean mindful of what you do on a daily basis and how you organise stuff. And if you're using what tools you use, what processes you use, be aware of it. And if it doesn't work, stop doing it. If it doesn't work for you after a couple of months or a couple of weeks or whatever time frame you want to set with it, stop doing it and find something else. Like, don't do it because you like everyone else does it this way, so I must have to do that. You haven't got to fucking do anything, mate. Do stuff that works. Don't do stuff that doesn't work. Tools are important for people with ADHD. What do I mean by tools? I don't mean a drill. I don't fucking know what that was. Tools are good for that if you get the right tools. Shit tools that don't work. They say don't blame them because a good workman doesn't blame his tools. But I say if they're shit tools, then fucking blame them. I blame you for getting shit tools. Maybe that's what it means. Actually, yeah, you bought the shit tools. If you bought the shit tools, you know they're shit. You're still using them. Then you're a shithead. So don't use. I think that's probably what the point of that phrase is. The classic tool that people tell people to use when they have ADHD that doesn't work for people with ADHD To-do lists can fuck off, right? Basically, like, people come to me. They don't come to me necessarily, because that would be quite weird if they literally came to me to say this. People who are already there with me for whatever reason in some kind of conversation, and the conversation is revolving around organisation or ADHD, will say something like, have you tried using a to-do list? And to those people, I don't say it to them when I'm there with them, because I'm a coward. But what I want to say to them is fucking fuck off. Yes, I've tried to write things down. I've tried to write things down in so many ways. Whiteboards, notepads, with a pen and a notepad, iPad, laptop, phone. I've tried so many times to keep that going, and it fucking doesn't work. It doesn't work. But we live in a society, not to quote whatever that fucking meme's come. What is that from? Google it. We live in a society. It's from internet culture. Yeah, I knew that. Oh god, I'm very confused now. It is a meme. I don't get it. What was I talking about? We live in a society that is geared towards doing things for some fucking reason. With that in mind, you have to have some way of keeping a track of those things that you do. And so unfortunately, some kind of to-do list thing is going to have to be the thing that you do use, even if they suck, which they do. But the least sucky of all the to-do lists, and I probably won't get a sponsorship deal by saying that, Llama Life is a very good app that I use on a daily basis. I use it. It's got to-do listing functionality, like putting things in a list. It also has lots of other things that make it more interesting than every other to-do list thing that I've ever used. It's things like colours and emojis and confetti when you do the thing, like an animation of confetti, and some quite cool sounds. Oh, and it's got timers as well, which I don't really always use all of it, but it's that, you got it. It's made for people with ADHD, I think by people with ADHD. Certainly feels like it. And it's just much better than every other fucking to-do list app for people with ADHD is what I found. Llama Life's pretty good. It's made things better for me. And if I have to use a to-do list, that's the to-do list that I will use. Calendars are really important for things, which I know sounds so basic it might sound basic to some people, it might not sound basic to some people. It didn't sound basic to me 5 years ago. I didn't use a calendar. I just was like, meh, I'll just remember it. Funnily enough, now that I've been diagnosed with ADHD, what I realise is that it doesn't work very well with remembering things. Not really one for that. So I did used to find myself being double booked for stuff a lot, or just not turning up for things. A couple of tricks with a calendar. First thing is put it in the calendar. I put it in the calendar right away. Right away? Straight away. Straight away. Put it in the calendar straight away. Reason for that, if you don't, you won't remember to do it. You won't put it in the calendar. We're going to meet and have some food at this place, this restaurant, at this time on this day. Cool. I'm going to put that in my calendar tomorrow. You will not put it in your calendar tomorrow. You will forget to put it in your calendar tomorrow, and you won't meet the person. And then you'll be sad, and you'll be like sitting at home, and you'll be like, why didn't I use a calendar? Why didn't I use a calendar? Is probably what you'll be thinking. So use a fucking calendar. When you see a person that you're having a conversation with and they're there with you, and they say to you, well, I want to do this thing with you in a few weeks' time, and this thing is going to be this time, and you go, cool, let's do that thing. Put it in the fucking thing, in the calendar. Now, then, when they say it, do it, put it in. That is a rule that I implore, good word, implore you to follow. Calendar rule number 2. Is this the number 2 rule? Or is it just is it 1A, 1B? Probably 1B. Part of the rule of putting it in the calendar is to then set an alarm for just before and a little bit before the event. I mean, you get the picture basically is put 2 alarms in so that you get a reminder from a bit before it and then right before it. The other thing to do, and this is rule number 2, is to check your calendar all the time. Don't not check your calendar. Check it every day. Check it every minute. Not every minute. Check it maybe not every hour. Check it a lot. Every couple of hours, check your calendar. To a normal person, that's going to be like, what? But seriously, just do it. Just check your calendar all the time. It will help. Do all that and you'll be fine. Probably, I don't know. You probably won't. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna track you down. Track you down? I feel like that's not the... Never gonna give you up. Never gonna track you down. Never gonna let you down. Yeah, that does seem more appropriate. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. Right, bye.